some of the worst noise I've heard. I think there's some cats in there on the hot tin roof getting on. It's I like a good 2 to 3 minute song. This one's been going on for about 75 minutes, something like that. Yeah, let's wrap it up, fellas. Wrap it up.
Wait till you see what I'm gonna do to it. It ain't even fast yet, baby. I'll meet you back at the shop. It's gonna be a good week. I'm gonna introduce you to 3 people that mean a lot to me. All 3 of them, except one, is the most important for sure. My son, Tyler, getting married down in Nashville. Got to take his 67 Camaro down there. I'll tell you all about that. Also, you're gonna meet my buddy Mancow. We are gonna take a suicide door Lincoln all the way to Scottsdale, Arizona coming up. I've been chasing him for a while to say, come on, let's do it. So he said, this week, he said, okay, let's do it. I'm excited about that. So I want to introduce you to him and the beautiful car that I bought. Oh, right there. See that right there? That's the 61 Lincoln convertible. Triple black. I think it was only 1,600 actually ever built. And I should bring some money at Scottsdale. That's going to be a big auction. End of January, but we're gonna have to run Mancow's car around that we built for him, which is a 69 suicide door Lincoln, for a while to make sure she's gonna make that trip. I don't want to be stranded. You know, no, it's not my Chevelle, you know. Anyways, here is the 52 Ford truck we built. Gosh, this thing is gorgeous, isn't it? It's got an LS motor in it. It's got, power steering, power brakes, rack and pinion. It's just all decked out. One of the first hot rods I actually ever got to build. Built it myself. Oh yeah. So it's gonna be a good episode this week. Stay with us. I hope you enjoy it. Share, like, do that kind of YouTube stuff or follow, however you do it. Like I said, you're here and I'm not. All right, let's go. It's gonna be good. Hey Murph, you like the tank?
Yeah.
Is it good? Is it perfect?
Well, you said you're going to introduce 3 people.
I did. I did Tyler. I did Mancow.
And,
hey, we'll just put this in. We're human, right? You okay with that?
Yeah, clip me in.
No, you're clipping.
I'm just an afterthought. I get it.
Hey, it don't get more real than this, baby.
What's the cool thing? Okay, so this is the motor that came out of the 69 Chevelle.
Everything looks to be pretty good in here, and the machining work was done pretty nicely. You can still see
Pump
the
cylinders.
cylinder walls look really nice.
This is a nice motor. When you're looking at motors, I'm just going to give you a couple of little 101s, right? So 101 is it a forged crank or is it not a forged crank? If you can see that wide line right there, that means it is a forged crank, which is really cool. If you see the 4 bolts here, this means it's a 4-bolt main. We're winning. Things are getting good. My hope was this is like an L72 motor, 427. Now you can tell that this motor is a GM still built motor because these rods are the dimpled rods. And now they didn't put that in just anything. That went in Yankos, that went in a few Corvettes. I gotta do a little bit more research, get some more numbers. But this motor is pretty darn special. Actually gonna probably go up for sale. But I was trying to give you guys a little 101. There's a dimple in the side of the rod. Kind of like you can take a picture of that. Like right down in here, there's a little dimple. I'll make a dimple on my finger. And I can see a dimple on my finger, see it? That's called a dimpled rod. So dimpled rods that are forged, pistons that are aluminum that are forged with a GM part number in it. Now we just got to find out exactly, was it a 454 or a 427? We already kind of know, and I'm going to tell you why. This is called a harmonic balancer, and the flywheel's over there next to the transmission. So on a 454, they're externally balanced. This is still an internally balanced motor. So if it was a 454, it would have to be externally balanced. This is internally balanced, which again leads us back to that 427 equation. That's the motor we was hoping for. This is really cool. Now we're taking the quick performance rear end that we bought, the QA1 parts, we're starting to assemble them. And I'm running into a couple issues that I'm wrestling with a little bit. I've been pulling together my resources to try to figure out how we want to actually go about this. I got some really cool ideas about actually doing a couple performance upgrades that goes even beyond the QA1 stuff, beyond the Hotchkiss stuff that they offer. Not way beyond it, just a little beyond it. So that's our prototype. Here's the QA1 shocks. Here's the mounting bracket that they sell with it. It goes right on there. And here's one problem. In the original design from QA1, when you look at this product, it actually has a little bit of interference on this. This is your shock tower perch. This is your spring perch. Shock tower perch, spring perch. With this aftermarket components, you're actually using the shock tower mount as a place to hold the weight of the car. So I'm not real big on that because you've got it welded back here. If you look here, these are your factory welds, and it's pocketed into this corner, and it's very strong here. But as you leverage it out here, it's not going to have the same rigidity to it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to prototype a assembly that's going to bolt onto here and go to there, and I'm actually have multiple attachment points for the shocks. What's really cool is you can actually change the spring rates by changing the angle. Now, in a drag car, you're going to want that butt to drop and it's going to hook. You want it soft because that's going to make you go down that drag and get you the best traction. But in an autocross style car, you want that thing stiff. So what we're going to do is make multiple mounting points with a pin. There's one other issue that I found with this thing that I wasn't real big on. So we ordered the Quick Performance with the ears already on it, and these need to be very linear as they move. And if you look at the way this is structured into this rear end, as this rear end is going to move, this is actually moving at an angle, and I didn't like that either. So on the car number 2, I'm actually going to have us put the ears onto the 9-inch housing ourselves. That way we can properly align it. What you don't want to have is like moving shocks and have any side load on a shock. You also don't want to have any preload on any of the moving components of the car, or it's going to bind up when you really push the car. So we're going to make a couple modifications between this device here, the adjustability, and then I'm going to hand tune these into each chassis as we fabricate it. Now, I'm not saying every chassis is going to need that, but I'm definitely going to do it on the first few to see how that goes. So now we're getting pretty close. We're reinforcing the chassis. So not only did we box the outside of it, we've gone ahead and we are putting a hoop in the back of it to reinforce it, and then these struts basically run all the way up here to this side of the chassis. Ow, it's hot. See that floor? Then we put the whole floor on here, make sure everything is going to fit just the way we want it to, and then we'll button it down. In the meantime, you just use lots of screws and clamps. So what we're doing is taking a T-channel out of the equation. To do that, it was supposed to be like real easy to do. It's not that easy to do. We're also running some issues with the height of the motor, the floor. It was supposed to, the Tremec 5-speed was also supposed to match up and not have to modify the floor. That didn't happen. So now I got a guy on the road right now. G.I. Jeff's on the road, picking us up a new kick panel and firewall that we'll actually assemble back onto this car. So we know where to make the cuts on the other chassis, the body, not the chassis. I get confused real easy. That's the next move. That's the next move. I'm not happy because we had to do a lot of stuff that I didn't plan on.
Man cow.
Bang, that's all you do on the fenders all day long. If you ever left the shop and came out on a road trip with me, Harry, right now you'd be hanging out at Johnny Cash's cabin. Hey, Harry, I'm in a place. I know you love this. I know you love cooters. Yeah! All right, hey, it's Man Cow. You got to guess where I am, Harry. You'll never guess where I am. Because I know you've never left Fox Lake.
Talk about living the car lifestyle. I've been listening to the radio station, The Loop, since I was a little boy. And to have them buy 4 cars from me in our shop, and then they give them away to their listeners, wow, it was crazy. Who gets to do that? One day when I was down at a promotional meeting in Chicago, Man Cow wanted to meet me. I'm sitting in a boardroom with the cast from The Deadliest Catch, and he would always have cool people that he'd have on his radio show. And we're waiting for Man Cow, and after we were done, he says, Harry, why don't you hold back for a minute? I want to talk to you. And he says, I want you to build me a car. I'm like, come on, dude, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, what kind of car? He goes, I'm thinking like a Green Hornet. I go, dude, I can do better than that. How about we do something like a 69 suicide door Lincoln Continental? That could be really cool. So that is how we became friends.
Man Cow! I used the jigger. There we go, Harry. Don't be mad at me.
So rarely do we do this, but I had to get my whole team working on this car at the same time because we were on a tight deadline. You can see that was a very coordinated effort on our part, going after the interior, the wiring, all that shenanigans at the same time. Woo. So talk about doing something different. You know, the Green Hornet had all kinds of weapons. We couldn't put those types of weapons legally on a car, but what we could do is a smoke screen that comes out of the back. We also did a full leather interior. We had a thumb scanner for a safe built into the car. Also, we put on air ride suspension with nice bare brakes, big rims. This thing goes down the road, rides beautifully. Not to mention, when you turn the ignition on and start that bad boy up, a microphone comes up out of the hood. Yep, and we also have a speaker integrated into it, cop radios, cop tires. It's all around really cool ride. And it is the car of his dreams. It's what he always wanted. That's why we're headed west. Route 66, here we come.
Yeah! We're gonna get our kicks on Route 66.
We've been going back and forth on this issue for a while.
Nah, we're doing it. We're driving across America. The Man Cow Studio Hot Rods.
I hope it makes it.
Welcome to Studio Hot Rods. All right, Man Cow's car is going to Arizona. That's official. Sarah, get out here and clean this thing.
Do you know how many times I've cleaned that thing?
Gorgeous, huh? Just hit the gas again once, just feel it. Does it sound badass or what? So badass. So this is my boy Tyler. He's got a 1967 Camaro that I bought when he was only 14 years old. I made him a deal. You build this car all the way through high school with me and keep it 3.0 and it's yours. We built it together and we've enjoyed it the whole time. He's now getting married in Nashville. He said, Dad, why don't you trailer the car down to me? And I'm like, dude, I don't trailer cars. I drive them. Yeah, so come with me over to the other building. We're going to have to dig that bad boy out. She's in there somewhere along with my other project. So 2.3 liters of sheer terror and about 400 horsepower in the little bomb of a Pinto. We gotta find Tyler's car, come on. 57 Chevy, 502, we gotta finish this one. I got too many projects. Slant nose, Porsche, Carrera. Just sitting there. It's a barn find. Oh, 63 split window Corvette.
Was someone assassinated in this one?
Maybe. I found this one under a tree in northern Illinois. Figured I'd make a project out of it. And there she sits. I'm gonna get over. Oh, I see his car over there. Come on, you coming with? I was gonna do something with this too. Oh yeah, that's right. I want to stick it out of the ground at the restaurant. They say don't drive drunk. Just have the back end sticking out. This is kind of cool. Look at this, man. 67 convertible Camaro project. That's a 1950. I widened the whole rear end. Another unfinished. Who would have thunk? REO Speedwagon. I wanted to make a tow truck. So I was gonna take this cab and put it over like a rollback. I'm still looking for a rollback at a good price. But this is like an old World War II war cab, they call it. There's Tyler's car over there. I gotta get there.
So do a cop slide over it?
I bought this when I was on my barbecue tour. 1973, square body. Yeah. There's the car. Oh, good Lord. Too fat. Found the car. We're gonna have to call for help. Mario! See ya. Dug that bad boy out of the pile of cars and projects, ran it over to the other shop, and I'm like, I better go through this thing, change oil. I started really looking at it. I'm like, maybe I'll just change it to tubular control arms, rack and pinion steering. So I ordered the parts and components. When they came in, I realized that it actually had some damage to the subframe up front. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta put a subframe in this thing before I take it to Nashville. So, needless to say, I was a little bit nervous. Got it done, and I had a buddy of mine that lives in Nashville that bought a 70 Chevelle from me that actually said, no matter where you're at, no matter what's going on, Harry, I will come and get you and pick you up. You are gonna make it to your son's wedding. I was like, wow, that is the car lifestyle. Okay, so obviously I made it to Nashville. It was a great ride, 22.5 miles to the gallon. Got to my son's wedding, hung out with my buddy. That was an awesome trip. Chris, go this way. We've been working on this to make it have a nice move to it so it can actually ride nice. Now we got to do a weight test and add some more weight to it. And it's me, of course, because I'm one of the biggest guys. But we're gonna take a gamble. Who weighs more, Murph or Chuck? Murph or Chuck? And you know how we're gonna find out? I got scales for a car. It'll work perfectly. What is that?
That'll be the scale for the pretty rusty steel.
I mean, yeah, well, you need something big enough for a car. You're 6'8". Yeah, dude, it's okay.
5'7".
What do you weigh, Chris?
I'm about 160.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm going right into my Pontiac Bonneville going home.
Murph, you getting on the car scale?
Nope.
Yep. In the Blazer. And with Murphy not scaling up.
No.
Oh, you're scaling up.
No, I like to leave some things a mystery.
Yeah, well, this ain't gonna be one of them. 225, 225. 225?
250.
250, 225, 225. And Murph.
Oh, beautiful 150 pounds.
2 1/4?
Yeah. Exactly.
254. Hey, good for you.
Between 254 and 255.
Yeah, I was right there. Yeah.
Glad this stays over now. Thank you. Put my weight on.
Don't cuss. You're gonna have to.
Don't put my fat online.
Such a bad liar.
Come on. What was it? How much was it, Dave?
253.
Tell him it's my fault.
It is your fault.
Oh, it is my fault.
Murph used to weigh a lot less.
He.
All right, folks, it's your boy Rusty Steel, and today I got a 2012 Fisker Caramel. Now, if you look real close at these headlights, it is quite easy to tell that this thing is a transformer. One thing I'm not sure of, Decepticon or Autobot. I'm not seeing any proper badging to let me know that. Further proving my theory that this thing is a transformer, if you look at all these veins, these varicose veins that it's got going along its upper part here, this tells me this is how it gets all its blood going to its brains over there. Still not seeing badging whether or not it's a Decepticon or Autobot. I'm a little scared to be around this thing, but I gotta tell you, it is alive. I can tell you right there, there's blood going in those varicose veins. Filling her up, quite easy. You just push this thing in, let it bounce out. What in the hell is that? Clearly somebody has played some sort of practical joke on me and plugged my gas hole up. Freaking punks, this is amateur hour, what kind of? Take a gander at this 2.0 liter turbocharged engine, okay? Look at that, you cannot tell me that this was not forged in Cybertron, all right? This thing is gonna get you 163 horsepower, and it's gonna turn this thing from looking like a car to a freaking human. Apparently, some sort of video game is how you operate your park, your neutral, your reverse, and your drive. It's all here like on kind of some like Xbox controller looking thing. You ain't even got a shifter in this thing. That's just weird. Okay, clearly, the flux capacitor is in here. I might have been wrong this whole time. I don't think this is some sort of transformer. This actually might be a time machine. Yeah, look at that. Tell me that's not the flux capacitor. That is definitely pumping out about 1.21 gigawatts. So I personally don't know if you should go above 88 miles an hour in this car, okay? Because if it's got a freaking flux capacitor, who knows where you end up. Here, look at it. You hit right here. Flux capacitor activated. That's what that does. That is impressive. Holy cow. So all right, folks, if you like this 2012 Fisker Caramel you just took a tour of, click the link above me, okay? It's gonna take you to StudioHotRods.com where we are selling this beautiful thing for $47,000. Marked down from $2 million, okay? So you do the math there. That's like a 500% discount, okay? Click the link above me. Go to it. Our prices are so low, you're gonna think you stole it.
Next week's gonna be good. You know what we got going on? Hey Murph, what do we got going on? Really?
What, do I exist?
What's next week again?
Talk about your Chevelle. What else do you talk about?
I know my Chevelle, but there's more to it.
I know, it's just an afterthought.
He's an what?
I think I should actually, before you start filming, Harry, let you know.
I'm already filming, Murph. And why is there a blow-up doll over there?
Don't ask those kind of questions.
Oh, that was for Kyle for his birthday.
Don't blame me for that.
Okay, come on. What's in the episode? Let me tell the people.
You're going to be working on your Chevelle tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a lot of work for me, actually.
I'm a chopped liver, aren't I?
This could be the worst end of an episode ever. Can you give me any more hints?
Well, you're going to meet a very mustached young man.
Are you talking about G.I. Jeff?
Oh, he's going to be ahead.
He thinks it's Freddie Mercury. Next. What car are we working on?
Chevelle.
Oh,
There is literally, so I got nothing other than that.
That's so wrong in so many ways. All right, doing the spin around. Good night. Goodbye. See ya. Click your heels 3 times and say there's no place like home. 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 For the record, we had a barbecue trailer outside and I was trying to put like people outside next to the trailer. It's not like a gross sexual thing that is just falling off the thing. Ah! Ha!
Happy New Year!